Some manufacturers come within a gnat's dangling of making it big time, only to be hoist of their own petard by some appalling twist of fate or circumstances beyond their control. This is precisely what happened to Clan cars of Washington, County Durham. Let your mind drift back down to the 60s. In those days, if you wanted a cheap, affordable sports car, you were stuck with a Triumph Spitfire or an MG Midget. Into this little lot came the Clan. Launched with minimum fuss, it had futuristic styling. Wedge shape might not look $1 million now, but it preempted the Fiat X19 by 5 years. The TR7 hadn't been thought of, and as far as the Esprit or the Countach wedge shapes were concerned, there weren't even a gleam in the designer's eye. Sports cars had 7-inch headlamps on split-up and bent wings, so you have a little groundbreaker here. We're looking at a groundbreaker in other ways too. The Clan had a glass fibre monocoque, meaning that the plastic body shell doubled as a structural member, just like a modern tin box saloon. Only 2 manufacturers have made cars this way, Lotus beating Rochdale's Olympic to the market by a matter of months.
The Clan certainly can be used as an everyday car, providing you're quite happy to spend a few hours doing little minor jobs to it, then it is a very economical form of transport. But routine servicing of the older car needs to be done a bit more frequently. Apart from that, just the normal things that keep it clean and tidy and polished. No more difficult than any other car.
The lightweight plastic shell gave an all-up weight of 650 kilos. This, when it was allied to the 850cc Hillman engine, gave performance that was at least equal to a Triumph Spitfire 1500. Not only that, but it gave you 40 miles to the gallon, magnificent road holding, and of course, it was rust-free.
No, they're not expensive at all. Obviously, being an older car, then they can come from in need of complete restoration through to fully finished and usable items. And it can range anything from a couple of £100 up to £4,000 or £5,000. It's not difficult getting parts. The car used parts from many other different manufacturers. Yes, some are harder to get these days, but the club has a very good spares operation, and some of the more difficult parts then we actually get remanufactured.
So what exactly went wrong? How did the Clan nearly go to the wall? Well, the 70s weren't exactly kind to British sports cars. The 1973 fuel crisis has a lot to answer for. It saw Jensen to the wall. The 50-mile-an-hour speed limit imposed by the government did nothing at all for sports car imagery. But it wasn't that killed the Clan. What really saw it off was VAT, a little dodge imposed by the Conservative government to improve on their revenue from the old purchase tax days. Now that was a loophole that Lotus had already found. You could save 25% on the cost of your car if you built some parts of it yourself, thus the invention of the kit form car. Clan went up the same route, did the same thing. Sadly, when VAT came in, they hadn't got any pricing policy that would stand up to the increased outflow. Hence, no Clan. 73, they go to the wall, into receivership. Moulds and jigs get bought by this Cypriot company, who lobbed the lot over there just in time to get overrun by the Turks, and once more the poor Clan suffered. But in part 2, we'll tell you about how the Clan resurfaced in Northern Ireland. what happened for the next 10 years? Well, actually, absolutely nothing, until a guy called Peter McCandless surfaced in Northern Ireland, started a company called Clan Cars Limited with a ton of money from the Northern Ireland Development Council. It's pretty much the same people who at that time were pouring money into a company called DeLorean, and he set off all over again. Clan Cars Limited marketed a new car. Actually, it was the same car, but with a lot of detail and styling improvements. They got rid of the upright, noddy type headlights and put in these nice pop-up units. A lot of styling changes smoothed the car out and also extended the line of the car. Quality was on the up by this time. Having said that, the car still used the original Imp engines and running gear. There was a problem. These began to get very rare. Imps became sought after and collectible, no more a cheap car to buy. A solution had to be found. And this is it, the Clan Clover. Lovely little car. But of course, you know, all kit car manufacturers are actually turnkey manufacturers in disguise, in the wings waiting to happen, wannabes. And this is no different from Peter McCandless. He spent a fortune type-approving this car, probably too much because his cash flow went to hell and back. Anyway, in the meantime, they produced the Clover, a sweet little number. But gone was the Imp material, and in came Alpha Sud running gear. A lot wider track, so they put these blisters on the back here to cover that width. Better road holding, of course. In goes the 1.5 litre double overhead cam Alpha engine. Tremendous, sounds sensational, beautiful little power plant, torquey and everything. The press really, really liked it. Few niggles, sure, but what doesn't? Trouble was the public didn't like it, and by 1985 it was the same old story with Clan. They went bust. Now, opinions divided as to what is the best Clan of all time. Some say the Clover, some say the Irish Clan, some say the original Clan. Myself, I'm a Crusader fan, that's the original. Neil, our producer, is a Clover man. But whichever way you cut it, these Clans are great little cars and a tremendous buy.